Here in Maine, food insecurity impacts nearly 150,000 people, including 40,000 kids. This weekend, a local gym is joining the fight against food insecurity. Wilcox Wellness and Fitness locations in Bangor and Brunswick will host their 9th annual Burpees for Turkeys event on Saturday starting at 11. For every $5 donated, one participant will complete a burpee. All donations will benefit United Way. In the first 8 years of the event, they were able to raise more than $75,000. They've already reached their goal of $10,000, but there is still time to donate.
These trainers are going to do like 500 burpees, and then someone can throw down another $100 to have them do a bunch more burpees. So it's really fun. It's definitely a spectator event, so anybody is welcome to come watch. And I say cheer on the trainers, but I really mean heckle the trainers, and it's going to be really a lot of fun.
Each burpee donation will provide 10 meals for hungry Mainers. If you cannot make it to the event but would still like to make a donation, we'll have a link on our website and mobile app.